Are we on the internet? Question mark. All right, we're on the internet. Fantastic. Don't forget, GCP Jesus died for your sins. All right. What does the back say? I can't see. All right. I think it says, in the name. What does it say? I'll go for it. Name it says in the name of the tap, the PCAP, and the holy packet sniffer, Finok. What is this guy's name? Da, who made this shirt? This guy's hilarious. There he is. Was it this guy? I think it was this guy. I love this shit. All right, okay. Okay, here we go. Back into it. We're going back. Okay. All right. Okay. I gotta psych myself up. Make some more tea. Okay. All right. Sufficiently psyched. Let's do it. Okay. It really is thrilling. I'm just burned out. It needs to be exciting again. So I need to take a break. So that's fine. I'm gonna take a break. Okay, so determined base branch. So what did we settle on? Why don't we just jump into that log file? What are we looking at there? Now I want an 8K screen. I don't know where to find that though, for anything affordable. Do you know how much code we could see with an 8K screen? No way. That's way too expensive. Two 4Ks would be pretty good. It's not that annoying having the little break. It's not that bad, actually. Two 4Ks would be good. Ooh. All right, well, that's something to think about. All right, okay, that's something to think about, but it's also a distraction. So let's look at the logs. All right, so what went wrong here? Can you still hear me up there? Okay, hello, great. We're on the internet, great. Okay. All right, so readme commit, readme issue, create readme file if not exists. So why we not? Let me see the auditor. All right, okay. It's the LTM concept. Okay, so. All right, so something is amiss. Okay, so this is actually a good example. I'm going to do a side tangent here, but this is actually a really good example. So this what is the open architecture, right? Right now, we are debugging a a problem with something here. Something's not getting triggered, and we're not seeing this README PR be created, because we know if it gets created, it would throw a giant big error. It was throwing it earlier, right? So we did some refactoring, and we're not seeing the same error. So clearly something's wrong. Things should be failing still. We didn't magically fix anything. So yeah, so we have a problem between, let's see. So there's how do we make an analogy here? So I think we need to figure, let's debug the problem, and then we'll find out. We'll find out if there's an analogy here. Okay, so I have to try. Okay, so where are we at? What is not being triggered? README PR. Okay, so here's README PR. It needs a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, so one of these things is not showing up. So one of these things is not showing up. So let's look at where they're coming from. Okay, so repo, title, origin, body, base. Okay, so README PR title. I think I saw that one. Let's just go through and we'll get each one here. So this is coming from repo. Okay, repo. Wait, where is repo there? Alex contribute README. Fuck, I love this. Fuck, this is great. Okay. It's great only if it works. And obviously there's still some bugs, but it's nice to be able to see the flow. Okay. And it would be nice to be able to have more subgraphs, but we'll get there. Okay. So I guess what I should do is I should just go through and enumerate each one of these. So let's just open it. This. Let's do break pane. It's a new window. Here's logs. Join pane. Okay. Join pane 0, 1. Can't find session 0. Go fuck yourself. What is this? This looks like session 0 to me. Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright, we're just going down the list. Base. Alright, so for I in base branch, README PR body, contribute README, GitHub buttons remote, contribute README. Okay. Do the grep for whatever the hell you want. Right, and then, okay, so alright, let me get rid of that. Okay, so let's see. So what is this? I need a bigger screen. Okay, so let's just cut some of this stuff off. Okay, so let's just do. much everything says this. So if we cut off everything before this, we should just get like less. Or you know, wait a minute, less. I love that. That's great. Okay. That's what I want. All right, so less needs to tell me. Okay, so how do we make it so that this thing does not follow the line along from no wrap? We want no wrap our scroll. Let's no. S. Oh, thank you. Fuck. Okay. Now we can see. So what's happening here? So what? Okay, so these are things. So we only care if it says processing. Okay. Stage processing. Okay, stage processing. Yeah, so. Less. Okay, so here's our, okay, we're just getting less. Okay. The stage processing. Stage processing. So these things, okay, they're getting kicked off. Okay, show me reference. Okay, after give us 6 lines, and then rep on end. Okay, after give us 6 lines. Okay. Okay. All right, so now we have some context. Okay, so we should see it hit processing, right? On the first one of each of these should basically be like, hey, I'm processing this operation, aka like I'm going to dispatch it sort of thing, or I'm running it. Okay, so processing, stage processing, stage processing. This is really a dumb, I've thought this like 10 million times and I've never done anything about it. It's really, really dumb that this doesn't say what the operation is. We can just change that. Okay, so where is it? The glass is still the coolest thing. Okay, I really want to monitor that's on glass. Okay, so if you could do it like this, I think you could. You'd have to like, there's some like, what is it? It's like askew, sort of. The text is double, like just ever so slightly. I think you could do something with the glass to make it not like that. It's sick as all hell. It's very cyberpunk. Oh, this has to happen. Okay, this has to happen. All right. Maybe I'll work on this on August. All right. I'm going to try to do some hardware projects. Okay, so yeah, where are you sitting here? So you're in memory. This is just, I can't believe how this wasn't done before. Okay. So easy. Yeah, I should go in front because same thing we were thinking about chopping it. Okay, I don't know what we need to get structured logging implemented. Control R is just the best thing. You don't even have to type. Okay, so I'm seeing what looks like. Okay. That is much more helpful. Okay, so now we can do, there's our for loop. Yeah, so what's our most recent file? It should be for. Okay, so now we care about now what do we care about? Okay, we care about the space after it. Okay, so that's the same. The rest of these lines are now getting in the way. So let's actually we don't care about those A6, and we don't care about that processing anymore. I know I'm not commenting on the thread, but okay, so this is interesting. Now this is pretty useful. So I wonder if we can just real quick here. Okay. But whatever. Oh, there's numbers attached to them. That's why they're sorted that way. I was hoping they would sort by line. Okay. All right. Whatever. Let's contribute outputs. Let's maybe just try for outputs. There we go. There's our answer. All right, none. There's our problem. Alice contribute readme. Or wait, no. Wait a minute. Alice contribute readme. Yeah, Alice contribute readme. Contribute readme. Outputs branch. So this thing didn't output anything? What is this function? What is it? Who do you think you are not outputting anything? Okay. What's the meaning of this? All right. Okay. So what's going on here, buddy? Okay, so um, let's choose really get repo. Okay, so this thinks that's supposed to return anything. All right, damn. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait, is this used anywhere? Where else is this used? Create readme file if not exists. Contribute readme MD. What is contribute readme MD being called? It's not the first time I've asked that. Okay. It's not being called. So yeah, so this readme git repo is our culprit here. So what happened with this? So this is supposed to add, supposed to do a type conversion, right? And then add it to the subflow with that definition. Okay, but it doesn't return. So yeah, I mean it doesn't return, but it should have started the subflow. So should start the subflow. So we have something to debug in here. I don't remember where I saw this pprint locals, but whoever thought of this is a genius. Yeah, I saw this somewhere. I didn't think of this. This is a good one. Okay, so it just gives you the at a glance here, right before you hop in the debugger. So custom run data flow. Okay. Readme git repo definitions. Okay, so our problem is that so what's the input that's going to be added? So what's repo? Repo is git repo spec, right? So that should be cast as definition, which is readme git repo. Okay. So then the question becomes, what's the flow? Okay, so make sure we're working from the update export. Okay, so definition, readme git repo. Okay, so let's look for readme git repo. Readme git repo, 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 readme git repo. Okay, seems to be no variation on the name. Could be perhaps a Python serialization issue. So we've had issues with the spec forms before. So All right. So the repo, variable spec, readme looks right. So the next question I ask is, what is in the data flow? Okay, so what is it? Dot big. Okay, data flow dot seed. Okay, so what do we got in here? So git repo base branch. Okay, that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you insist, okay. And then what we're going to add is readme git repo. Okay. So if we add readme git repo, then that should trigger this function here, create readme file if not exists. Okay, and then contribute readme md. So what we'll do here is we will add to this a input object where the value is the repo, right? Because for whatever reason, the input that's getting added within there is not, it's not taking, right? So why is it not taking actually? Oh, we added it, yeah, we added it there. So where's the flow? So let's go to create readme file if not exists. Okay, so create readme file if not exists. Here, okay, here's the operation itself. Here's the inputs, which is repo. Okay. Okay, yeah. And then what does the flow say? Okay, so here's the flow. Something else. Here's the flow of this. So readme contents from seed. And this has to come from Alice contribute readme result. Okay. So let's check that the origin is correct. Okay. So what's the origin? Is this the same thing as that string over here? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's add this, right? So this should, if we add this like this, it should okay, value origin definition. Okay. Here, put definition. so let's go in here before I forget what it was. Okay, so now what do we want to see? We want to see if contribute readme MD. Yeah, we want to see if contribute readme MD fired. Oh, what was it? So let's contribute readme MD. And then that goes to contribute. Okay, so but we also have this one, this create readme file access. Okay, so okay, so output. Okay, what is this? Dispatch. Okay. Processing outputs. Results. Okay, so it does create the README. So, okay, yeah, so and here's our whole debug session here. So, okay, so okay, so when we did that, it created the README. So did it also run contribute README MD? No, it looks like that was not run. Okay, so what was not satisfied for contribute README MD? So what about README commit message? So, okay, so it's not the repo object. So perhaps it's the base. So what is, yeah, what's going on with the base? What is that? So determine base branch. So that's working. So contribute region G is not working. So what about readme commit message? That's working. Okay. And determine base is working and repo is working, but contribute readme MD is not working. I'm worried I know what the problem is. Okay. So stuff. Okay. That's not even it. So it is actually adding the repo fine. Um, okay, so it is actually adding the repo fine. Okay. Um, okay. Oh, okay. 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 So, okay. I'm excited for the Alice show. Okay, so where do we go from here? Just to gather inputs. Yeah, this is some pretty wonky shit in here. It's interesting. Okay. Yeah, you got everything else. So you got to turn your brain all backwards. All right. So, um, this is the mental model kind of thing. This data flow stuff. It because it does this permutations, and the permutations is that the fundamental thing that we're doing within um, within oh, is that what we're doing? Yeah, it is the fundamental thing. You're just running it, yeah, because it's just a tuned brute force. The whole thing is just a tuned brute force at the end of the day. The brain. Okay, so all right, come on, get to it. Okay, so there's maybe so where we're at here. So not gather input name. Okay, so products. Okay, so let's just if operation dot instance name equals. So when we have things as data flows, right, and when we have our translation layer later, we're going to be able to basically insert. You're going to be able to insert any code anywhere in any other code, right? And so this is basically what it allows us to mutate everything to whatever we want. And this is where we can use the tune brute force to try to figure out what are the mutations that we like using that trinity of the threat model is the human intent or eventually entity intent, and then static analysis and dynamic analysis, right? And so, your human intent feeds the stuff that you put into the static analysis, which is your code. The output of the static analysis, in some senses, is also like a compiled binary, right? Because it analyzes the code, my output is binary. So we sort of lump that under there, right? And so then we say, okay, then everything from static analysis, we finish up with that and we go to dynamic analysis, but it's also just sort of this constant thing, right? And in dynamic analysis, this is where you're sort of doing your CI/CD and you're doing your these continuous deployments, and you're testing in your environment, and then you're combining that with your telemetry data for your end user deployments, right, or whatever is out there in the live environment, right? So we have yeah, okay, we're getting too far deep into this, but okay. So it's all in the thread. That original thread, or the Alice discussion thread, has everything, and then it's all been dumped into the code base. Okay, so it's all greppable with the Git history, which will be the history. It's all in Alice. Okay, so operation instance name equals whatever we want to find out. So why we want to know why is contribute readme PR not being called. All right, give us a shell. No. So we didn't make it that far. Okay, so we are somewhere earlier than this. So let's find out. Let's move to the top. Take it from the top. Okay, so let's make sure we're in here at all. Okay, we're not in here at all, so maybe this is too restrictive. All right, so let's try and split. Okay, there we go. We hit the. All right, so now let's try to move it to the end of the function. right, so it's not at the end of the function, so that means we're getting no matches. So somewhere in here we're bailing out. So let's look for a return statement. So return here, here, and here. Okay, so let's go past the first two. All right, we're doing sort of a binary search here, right? And we're going to see if we get past those two. So if we break here, okay, we're breaking here. All right, so that means that we get to at least here, right? And then the next return is down here. So it means that we must be bailing out here for some reason. So let's put our break dump of the locals right here. Nope. All right, we didn't get there. So okay, so maybe we returned, if not, await, check conditions for, wait a minute, okay, maybe that shouldn't be a return. I'm sure we were able to come in. Okay, yeah, that shouldn't be a break. Okay. Continue. Okay, so I clearly have no idea what I'm doing. So what the fuck? So it doesn't get to the end of the function, but it doesn't bail out at the beginning of the function. So what if, okay, let's go move it up one return statement. Okay, let's see how far it goes. 1, 2. Okay. Let's try it again. So it went 3 times, and then it was done. Okay, so fuck. Fuck. Ow. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, where are we?